Hey, it's JP with Central Idaho Mountain Weather. It's February 4th, 2024. Just giving you a storm update. I missed my normal daily briefing this morning. I was down in Salt Lake for an emo show, and I just want to give a quick update what's going on. My webcam is still not working, so we're doing this just with the screen. Looking at the satellite overview right now, you can see the darkness is coming from the east coast, but you have a nice big area of low pressure that's spinning counterclockwise here and has this long ribbon of atmospheric river down towards Hawaii. That's going to be bringing us our next storm. So looking at the winds for tonight, start off there. They're going to be increasing from the south as we go through the day, and looking like we could have some gust up into the 40s at higher elevations, but mostly in the 30s for I'd say more of the typical elevation around Galena Summit area that people tend to go into. Looking at the HRRR forecast, latest model run. So moisture starts to come in here right around midnight, and you can see, focus on the Wood River Valley here. That is going to stay mostly green through the morning hours. And you can see there's some yellow going up into the Sawtooth as well, but the confined moisture is mostly all across from the Soldiers over into the Pioneers for much of the day. And looking like we can have an inch an hour rates from midnight to 4 a.m. is what the forecasters out of Pocatello are saying. So lots of moisture heading our way with that southwest flow. We have a winter storm warning in effect from 8 p.m. Tonight to 11 a.m. this morning. They're already talking about in the afternoon forecast discussion that they're probably going to have to extend that advisory into the afternoon hours, and certainly looks that way if the HRRR forecast pans out. So snow totals of 5 to 10 inches below 7,000 feet, so looking at the valley floor area, and then 10 to 15 inches above 7,000 feet with wind gusting up to 35 miles per hour. And that's for Sun Valley, Wood River Valley, and Big Lost Highlands. So bunch of snow coming our way. Here are the highlights for up to tomorrow. You can see much of the area has some color on it, which is pretty cool. From Galena Summit all the way down to Cary is having a significant amount of snow. And really 8 to 18-inch range is like much of the area, which is really cool to see, from the Smoky Mountains over to the Boulders and the Pioneers. The Pioneers definitely look like they're finally getting their dose of moisture out of this storm. So I think that's going to look like it's going to be the hot spot. Hyman is like right where that little red dot is. So with orographic upslope lifting, that's going to add that much more moisture coming over that side. There's an avalanche watch in effect, so they might put out an avalanche warning. Dangerous conditions exist in the backcountry and may be issued Monday morning, so stay tuned to that if you are going to be doing a dawn patrol, because it is going to start turning on tonight pretty rapidly. And we'll look at that in the MBM model here in a sec. So this is for tonight into tomorrow. You can see the Pioneers have that nice dose of 6 to 8 inches tonight. Everywhere else is going to do pretty well too. 4 on Baldy, 4 down in Haley, pretty good. And then it ramps up, or continues, I should say, to lay down moisture through the Pioneer Mountains through tomorrow at 5 p.m. And then with some splotches over in the Smoky Mountains and definitely in the Boulders as well, before it kind of starts to probably have a little bit more wraparound moisture, and it looks like another little pulse is going to come through for Tuesday and into Tuesday night, which is great. Freezing levels look like they're going to be keeping it to the valley floor bottom, at least on the GFS is looking like it's going to be all snow in the valley floor. The Euro is consistently always warmer. It does seem like it could get around 6,000 feet or so later in the day. We'll see if that happens. It looks like no one's mentioned anything about rain in the weather forecasts. Looking at the MBM models for tomorrow by 11 a.m., this is like kind of when we're getting that first big pulse of moisture. We're looking at 10 inches in the soldiers, almost an inch of water. The winds are going to be nuts over there tonight, probably even going to be more than this on peak 2, where the weather station is. And you can see that it's going to be snowing almost an inch an hour for that time frame from midnight over to about 4, maybe even 5 a.m. And that's kind of the same picture as we go through weather station to weather station. This is for Sun Valley Airport, looking at maybe 6 inches by noon tomorrow with 7/10 of an inch of water. That's quite a bit. And Hyman is going to be a nice hot spot to see 10 inches by that same point with 7/10. But if you scroll all the way through to Wednesday, we're looking at maybe 2 feet of snow and 1.7 inches of SWE. That is going to be a lot of load on an area that hasn't seen that quite yet. So you can probably see some pretty big avalanches over there. And it already looks like it had been touchy from what the forecasters were saying. Baldy is looking like it's going to get about up to 10 inches with almost an inch of water. Some of those really crazy rates down the bottom left. Again, probably over an inch an hour in the morning time out in the early morning. And then less as we head up towards Titus, looking at 8 inches with 7/10. Still good, but not as dramatic as the South Valley. And with this being southwest flow and an atmospheric river, that just hits the southern area quite harder. Looking at barely 3/10 of an inch up in Bench Lakes and a little bit more for Banner. So the southern zones are definitely going to be the heavier hit areas. Over in the Boulders and Pioneers, those are going to be the spots that are getting the most snow. That hasn't seen much over the course of the year. So it's exciting to see maybe Mid and South Valley coming in with some snow. At least it's going to help with the water situation for summer.